exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. But right, and you know, I see some of the same faces, like year after year, not just in the Senior Olympics, but in other events that they might go into, either Michigan events, or if there aren't any in Michigan, they go into another state and compete. And it really, there's sort of an anchor in the Senior Olympics. If you see a familiar face, you're in the right place. And so
Okay. Yep.
it's just a nice way to make friends and to enjoy some conversation with everyone. And when you and I were teenagers and woke up in the morning, first thing we reached for was the alarm clock. At our age, the first thing you reach for is a prescription bottle. So there's a little bit of a change that goes on. But I have to tell you this, that I got to know some of the high school young men and women at Mona Shores High School. And we would talk on the track. They'd watch me work out. I'd watch them work out. And I was asked to speak to the football team and the women's basketball. And that was probably my greatest honor. So I enjoyed that.
Well, talking about when we were in school and so on and so forth, were you always slim, or were you overweight any time, or did you have to work to get your body back into shape, or did you always kind of try to maintain a fitness?
Actually, I guess, thank goodness, I have a good metabolism. I never had a problem with being overweight. And I was a pretty good eater. I still am, but I portion my meals, smaller meals. But I weighed 135 in high school as a senior, and I weigh 147 right now.
I weighed 135 in high school, but I won't tell you what I weigh right now. About 7 pounds more than you.
Really?
Yeah. And I work at it. It's,
sure.
We have to work at it, but it's a mindset. We want it to be that way.
Right.
And it's so easy to go off, but you do a lot more exercise than I do, but then you burn a lot more calories in the process.
I certainly do. Yes, when you're working an hour and a half, high impact, 3 days a week, and then the other 2 days I do some things in a gym of weightlifting and that kind of thing. But for someone who wants to just get started in the fitness world, just walking will
It's one of the
do
best.
it. It is.
Easiest on your body.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I always tell people, too, that have had hurt shin splints or something like that, don't be afraid to get on a bicycle, because that's so easy for anybody.
Exactly.
And when you're walking, you have to walk uphill, downhill. When you're on a bicycle, you have a gift of coasting downhill. So it's an easy way to get started.
Yes, it is.
But it's cross-training. You have to do more than one thing.
Right. Right.
Now, with these medals, this is what qualifies you for the National Senior Olympics then, or what are the qualifications?
For the you must come in first or second in your event.
Okay.
At the local level. You automatically qualify at that point for the nationals in those events. The other way of qualifying is to compete in other events prior to the nationals and to get a score high enough so that would qualify you in any additional events that you wanted to be in.
Okay.
So
if you don't win in your local state, there's other methods to try to get
Exactly.
yourself involved in certain events at the national level.
Exactly, right. And they record all that. All the results from the Michigan Senior Olympics have to be sent into the head office in New Orleans. That's the main office, and those are all recorded and documented. And then people at the national committee there can see who qualifies and who didn't, and you have to submit your ID and all of that.
How many nationals have you been to?
4.
4. And where have they been located?
Illinois, Pittsburgh, Utah, and Pennsylvania.
Okay.
So,
So you've been around to these now. How do you finance these? Out of your own pocket?
Well,
or do you get help?
Much of it does come out of my pocket, especially when you're going to compete in more than just 1 or 2 events. Fortunately, I did have some sponsors, local businesses here in town, and they got behind me and thought it was a worthy cause, and I always say came to my rescue and helped me there. Had it not been for my seniors, I probably could have went, or my sponsors, but it would have been a little bit tougher because your gasoline is higher, your room to stay there for 10 days, that adds up, your meals, so it isn't inexpensive, and so either save your money ahead of time or try and get some sponsors.
Are the Nationals about a week long, or are they a weekend, or?
Actually, the Nationals will be about 10 days.
10 days.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's where a great expense comes in. That's
Right.
3 meals a day and night lodging each time. And
Yes, indeed.
But that's also called skiing. SKI, spending kids' inheritance, right?
I've never heard that before, but
Spending kids' inheritance called skiing. At
I'll
our age,
remember
we
that.
do that a lot.
I'll remember that one.
Well, is it a family endeavor for you?
It really is, yes. To think that I went to all my kids' events, and now today, not only my
They're
kids,
in
but the
turn showing up
grandkids.
at your events and being your cheerleading squad.
How do you do, Grandpa? You know,
Yep.
those kinds of things.
Well, listen, Jimmy O, is there anything we may have missed at all that you would like to just relate on? When's the next national coming up?
I'm planning on Utah, to be in Utah, which is a huge event, the senior games, and I would like to sometime compete in Oregon at the Prefontaine track, but here locally, there's some exciting things happening at the gym. And if you want to get the details, the gym is located in North Muskegon.
On Center Street.
On Center
right
Street.
by Four Corners.
That's exactly right. You will want to dial 719-2244 and ask for Jimmy O or Mary. And Mary Switzer, she owns the gym, and so that'll get you started. At least it'll give you some information as to what is this really going to be all about. But it's there. The opportunity is there, and believe me, it's a great organization. And it'll take you off the streets for 10 days. You won't be playing in the wrong place.
Well, so Jimmy, let's tell our public, let's challenge them. It's
right.
up to them to get out there and get motivated now too, right?
Yes, it is.
These old guys can do it. You surpass me tenfold, 100-fold, but doggone it. Get out there, feel good. Let's make West Michigan really helpful.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jimmy
very
O.
much.